it's Liz from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today is Thursday, it's 3 p.m. in the UK, so it's time for a live craft and chat. One of my favourite times of the week. Let me just check that everything is working properly, which it is. We don't even have too much of a delay. I've got my email to tell me that I'm live. Woohoo! Pardon my scarf. It's cold in here. I've been doing admin all morning, so I've been in the house, so I haven't been heating this room. When I walked in here just now, it was 8 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit. 8 degrees Fahrenheit would be very, very cold. It's a sunny day. It's not quite as cold as it has been, but it is still quite cold, and some parts of the UK have got snow, which is not something that we get regularly. I know parts of the world get lots of snow and deal with it really well. We don't get much and deal with it really badly. Hello, Linda. Good morning to you. Hello, Mary from the Netherlands. Good afternoon to you. So today I am going to be playing with conversation bubbles. It was one of those stamp sets that when I saw the new catalogue on stage in Vienna, I went, gotta have it. Gotta have it. Sadly, it wasn't on pre-order, or rather it was on pre-order, but not everything had arrived. Hello, Shaz. I hope things are okay down with you. I know you've had quite a lot of flooding near you. Hello, Deborah from Michigan. I have to say, we've had quite a lot of flooding near us as well. I won't be taking that because my husband is around and he can answer the phone. Hello, Sherry from Oregon. Still dark with you. Wow. But no, it's bright and sunny here. And as I say, yes, we've got a bit of flooding. It's not too bad. The road's not cut off yet. It is just coming onto the road, but it's okay. It's still passable. The other side of the road is fine, so it's fine. Hello, Nora. Hello, Joanna. But yeah, we were hoping that the water level would be receding a little because we haven't had any rain for a while, but it hasn't. In fact, it's gone up. But hey, and in the village next to ours, the other side of the river, they have a water meadow, which is meant to flood and does, and that is frozen. Hello, Janice from Canada. Just starting your day with coffee and some Liz inspiration. I have my coffee. If you spotted me on Instagram, I was saying I'm just back from our village lunch club, which is Meals Not on Wheels. We just have anyone who is over 55, I think, is allowed to go along, and it's once a month. And they always serve coffee at the end of the meal, and it's disgusting. So I never have it, but I have got my coffee decaffeinated because it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I have done a little bit of prep, but I'm still going. So I'll tuck everything away for the moment and show you what we're playing with, and I'll also give you a sneak peek for those of you in the UK. I do a monthly class kit to go, and I'll give you a sneak peek of what the projects are for that. So let me flip the camera down, and there we go, picture in picture. Let me put my other light on. Doesn't make a huge difference, but mentally it makes a difference. So who's joined? Rita from the heart of Illinois in the USA. So this is my coffee. It's a very important part of my life. So I'm going to start by giving you a quick sneak peek at the cards that I'm going to be sharing in this month's Creativity in a Box. Oh, and I should say, before that, a bit of housekeeping. If you're watching live, obviously, if you've logged into YouTube, please do chat along with us. Hello, Judith. You've made it for a live at last. Yay, you're live with the live. 9 o'clock in the morning with Rita, not 3 p.m. Yeah, well, it is with us. Hello, Barbara. So if you're joining live, obviously, if you logged into YouTube or your Google account, please do join the chat. That's lovely. If you've got any questions, that's great. Happy to answer any questions. If you just want to chat amongst yourselves, that's good too. We do get quite a lot of chat going on, which is great. Hello, Pam. Some of you have already, but if you're enjoying what you see, some thumbs up's always wonderful. And if you're new to the channel and would like to subscribe, you can do that by hitting the YouTube icon in the bottom right hand corner. It's if you're watching this and the word, oh, I've got a replay, hang on, let's get rid of that. Let me get rid of that word replay, because it's not. I was going to say, if the title says live, then it's live. And then I realised it had the word replay, and it's now only got live. But there is probably or possibly a live in the top left-hand corner of your screen. It doesn't appear for everyone. Hello, Dee from Texas. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Thumbs up. Yes, we like thumbs up. But yes, so if you want to subscribe, please do. And if you hit the alert bell, then every time I go live, you'll get a notification. I get an email to say that I've gone live because I've subscribed to my own channel. So I've got those of you who follow regularly know that I have to do squinty eye to read the comments. So if it's a replay, you won't see the live, and there will be replay in the title, and you can leave a comment below the description bar. I am very behind with answering the comments. I'm going to go back and I'm going to do them this week if it kills me. Sorry, I caused you confusion, Shaz. I was so busy changing the conversation bubbles bit that I forgot about the replay bit, but there we go, because it goes to whatever it last was, if you see what I mean. Anyway, so quick flip through the cards that we're going to be making in the Creativity in a Box class this month. I'm using the Seaside Bay stamp set bundle, so the By the Bay suite, and these are going to be quick. So we've got a thank you with a pearl, and I've said these will do for men or women because they will. That's a little patchwork. Then we've got a little diagonal using lots of those flat-backed pearls, using strips, and then we're doing one of these, which is this way up, which is, again, we've got pearls there, and it's a kind of diorama folds flat card. So that's it. That's all you get to see. Very sneak peek, because I don't want you to see them too much. So, Conversation Bubbles is what we're doing today. This is the stamp set. Let me grab the dies, which I have been using, so they're in a bit of a mess. So we have the dies. Let me see if I can put these in place for you with the bubble that they fit round. Now obviously some of them are going to overlap because the dies are bigger. That's the yum. But basically there is a die for every bubble, and plus extra bits. So we've got stars, we've got hearts. We don't have a heart stamp. We've got hearts here, but we don't have a heart stamp. Thank you, Rita. As I say, very, very, very quick sneak peek. It's a bumper pack this time because it's 11 cards, and then if anyone who subscribes, not only, and I know this is only for the UK, and I apologise that those of you who are overseas can't take part in this, but postage and all that. Subscribers not only get their 5th class free, they also get an extra project, which I was going to post in a Facebook group, and then I realised that if people joined late, or later than the beginning, then they would get to see the subscriber only projects that they hadn't subscribed for. So we've got all of the bubbles have a die, plus the flowers. We've got 2 dies for the flowers, 2 dies for the stars, 2 dies that make 4 hearts, and then this die, which you can make a whole bubble. The gold pearl shell, thank you. I've actually got quite a few gold pearl shells, and I'm using both gold and rose gold. So yeah, having lots of fun with that. So the sentiments are: hello, just a note, love ya, sweet, oh, hi, wow, yay, yum, thank you. Exclamation mark, heart, heart. Sorry, that was Meatloaf came back and said hello. I've just got this bundle on my list. Yay! So many other sentiments absolutely will fit in the bubbles, particularly the charming sentiments, I want to say. Charming, is it charming? No. Where are you? Oh, it irritates me when I can't see the stamp set I want. No, can't see it. Can't see it. But there is a stamp set that has lots of sentiments, that has dies, but equally you can use these instead if you want a bit of fun. You don't actually have to use these for this stamp set, or indeed for sentiments. So yeah, lots of fun to be had. And of course I now won't be able to get them back, because what I haven't done, which I should have done, is draw around them before I took them out. Anyway, let's just pop them back in. There you are, they're all back in perfectly happily. Lucky UK people. Oh, thank you, Rita. I might have to put this one on my list too. Well, Sale-a-bration is the time to do it, because as we know, we get free stuff. And indeed, I will be using some free stuff, because I'm going to combine these with the Dandy Designs papers. And I brought out some card to go with it. And I've brought out the ink colours to go with. So this is a loved set of Dandy Designs paper. This is what I would call a level 2 Sale-a-bration item. So in the US that would be for $100. In the UK it's for 90. In Europe it's 120 euros. Don't know about South Pacific or Canada. So we've got stripes with squares on the back. We've got plaid with dots. We've got dots with stripes. We've got a pattern with zigzags. So lots and lots of lovely patterns to choose from, and they're really good, what I would call solid. So they're tone on tone, mostly small. I know the stripe's not small, but it's a pattern that you don't need much of to know what it is. So I would call this a solid, certainly from a scrapbooking point of view. This is a grid with a plaid on the reverse, and it's a really interesting colour scheme. Who would have thought Petal Pink and Flirty Flamingo went with Mango Melody, for example? And it does. More zigzags. I've used this one a lot, the Petal Pink. My least favourite, but fortunately there are stars on the other side, so it doesn't matter. So that's the paper that I'm going to be using. I have done a quick Pinterest scan because I needed some ideas, and there are quite a lot of ideas floating around, so it is worth having a look at Pinterest. Now, funny thing happened this morning, and I must have a drink. Funny thing happened this morning. When I woke up, it was really cold. I mean, it was ridiculously cold. Could I get into my phone? No, not really. I use fingerprint to get into my phone rather than having to do a password or any funny shapes or anything. I use my fingerprint because my fingers are attached to my hands and my hands are attached to my arms, etc., etc. And I couldn't work out why I couldn't get into my phone, and then I realised my hands were so cold that they weren't actually registering. So I've been huffing on my hands all day to get to log into my phone. Bliss. Coffee, even though it's decaffeinated. Yummy. Right, okay, so I have a white card base, and I'm looking at what I've already die cut. I'm going to grab a scrappity scrap. So the first thing I'm going to do is fold my card base in half. Second thing I'm going to do is find my bone folder. Make sure my card is straight. Now you can do that in your trimmer. Really good thing to do. And what I want to do is to cover the front of my card with paper. And no, I will use this side. Now, obviously, I've got to trim it straight. I say obviously. No, I'll do that next. Because I do want to use the stars, because I love the stars. Actually, I might go that way. So I'm just going to trim this straight. At some point in about 10 minutes, I'm going to be doing a Tom Brown School Days and having a burnt leg because my heater is on full blast onto my left leg, and I will need to go down and turn it off, but at the moment we're all right. But just so you know, if I suddenly dive under the table and go, oh, it's too hot, that'll be why. And it won't be that it's too hot, it'll just be that it's burning my leg. The trouble with my studio is that it's not attached to the house. It has underfloor electric heating, which at the moment costs a small fortune to run, so I'm not. So it doesn't get any latent heat from the house. It has very little insulation, is attached to the garage, so that's full of cold air. I have a duvet hanging over the garage door to try and stop the cold air coming in. So I'm just taking my paper and lining it up against the edge of my card and the fold at the top. And then I will trim it down. Now, those of you in North America who have a good, sensible set of dimensions on your card could just cut a piece. The length of A4 cardstock is 29.7 something centimetres. Whatever that is half of, or, you know, whatever half of that is. 10.5 centimetres across for a half sheet, but... so yes, those of you in North America with your letter size card, lucky you, you can cut a piece of paper that will fit the front of your card pretty easily. Anyway, so yes, so I don't have the heating on in here, the actual heating, so I've just got a blow heater. But when I came in, having had the heater on for a little bit before I went out for lunch club, I came back in and it was a massive, I think it was 8 degrees, which is ridiculously cold. So that's all we've got so far, is just a very slight background. Now, I have pre-cut some of the bubbles. So I've pre-cut some in Calypso Coral, some in Coastal Cabana, and some in Flirty Flamingo, in Fresh Freesia. Not very many in Fresh Freesia, I think. So the dies, some of the dies come with a frame. So this one, for example, comes with a frame, and the frame is embossed, so it is pretty cute. So I'm going to start by just building a pattern, and this is a lift from a German demonstrator from some time ago, because it's not the current stamp set. Let's see if I can see who it is. Stamping Club, but definitely German. Doesn't say who Stamping Club is. Anyway, actually I might do that one. So I'm just going to build a background. I will need some more, just saying. I will want that. Oh, that's the same as that, so I don't want that. Let's do that one. And actually, let's do that, and that, and I'm going to cut some Mango Melody, which was what I was about to do when 3 o'clock came along. So, piece of Mango Melody. My boho blue cut and emboss, but with some very tatty plates. Now, I had a team meeting last night, and we were talking about plates and keeping them flat. So, actually my base plate for this is not completely flat, so I need to turn that over. So, this is a little bowed. I was trying to explain, and failing abysmally, that when you are using your cut and emboss, you're putting a huge amount of pressure on the middle of your plate, which means that sort of stretches. So ultimately you will end up, can I manufacture it? Just about. You'll end up being able to squeeze the two layers together. At that point, you need to turn this plate over. And I know it seems illogical because what you're trying to do is push it flat, but actually what you need to do is take the pressure off the middle and put it onto the sides to help keep it flat. And then I always have the same, you know, a spare uncut plate on the top. And then this will ultimately become the bottom when this becomes too dented, cut, or breaks, because they do break. You're all being terribly quiet, which is fine, but you're all being terribly quiet, which worries me, particularly as I had trouble with my setup today for a change. It really didn't want to play ball. So I'm hoping you're still there and just being quiet. Who knows? So let's do some Mango Melody. Always rotating your bottom plate. Good, yeah. And you can rotate it front and back and top and bottom, as in, you know, to flip it over. And it was Rachel Tessman who I first saw explaining how to keep them flat. And it is counterintuitive, because you think that if this is coming up, you want it still up, because then you'll squash it flat. I enjoyed Railway Children. That's an interesting comment, Barbara. I enjoy the Railway Children as well. I'm working whilst I'm watching, Joanna says. Dee is multitasking and Rita is still there. That's all right. I was just checking. Only because, as I say, I had to reboot my laptop about, I kid you not, 4 times to get it to work. It was not working. It was horrible. So, yes. Right. Okay, so we've now got some Mango Melody, which is good. I will need some white as well, but we've got Mango Melody. So I can have Mango Melody up here. Let's have the Mango Melody up there. Then we'll have that. Then we'll have this just tucked underneath a little bit. And then we'll have that. And we'll have some stamping somewhere as well. Rachel is amazing. She is absolutely amazing. She's done so well. Is it 2 million she's now done, or is it 1 million? I can't remember. The movie you recommended recently. I do. Yes, that's right. I did. Love the Railway Children. Always end up in tears. Right. So I was doing a tutorial with the sweetest cherries yesterday. So we've got that. So let's grab some stamps. I think I quite fancy high, because it's a different shape. So that could go up there probably. And I think we could probably do with another of the big ones. So let's grab some colours, and I'm tempted to go Mango Melody for the big one, which I'm going to put at the bottom. And I'm going to go Fresh Freesia. Yes. Mary is relaxing with 3D cutting pictures, and Linda is working on her own card while listening to me. But you're still here. That's all right. As I say, it was only because my laptop was playing silly things. I just wanted to make sure that everything was working, because although it says it's got excellent condition on the video, doesn't necessarily mean it has. Just saying. So let's stamp high down there. I do like to leave my stamps on the card for a while, so they've got some hope of transferring the ink across. It's just the way I go. Helps if you ink the whole stamp. And I'm deliberately doing these a bit of a distance apart, otherwise they may have a problem. Having issues getting your large two-tone floral die releasing from the paper. Any tips? Ooh, I haven't used that yet. I'm assuming you're pushing through the little holes in the back of the die and it's still not coming out. What you can do is use wax paper. You're finishing off last night's card for the belly band. Absolutely. Nora's ironing, and watching is making the task easier. I'm glad about that. Yes, I don't do ironing. I refused. When my husband and I first got together, I did say to him, if you expect me to iron, 2 hopes and one of them's Bob. It ain't happening. I deliberately buy clothes that generally don't need ironing. I have a few things that need ironing, but mostly not. So I don't iron my clothes, so I'm not going to iron his. Right, so that's going to go around that one, and that's going to go around that one. He's very good at ironing. I haven't quite managed to get him to do my ironing for me. But as I say, I rarely wear anything that needs ironing. So yes, you can get waxed paper, which we would get from a cookery shop. That's moved already. Let me just take that back because hi has moved. And thank you has my plate is bowing. Yay! That means I can definitely do that and show you that that's what I do. Right, so let's fit that back into its slot. There we go. I will be using some masking tape. Keep them in place. Hello, Judy. Joanna doesn't iron anything either. I mean, you know, I have no issue with ironing. I'm just not going to do it, and I'm certainly not going to iron for anybody else. I was in the Navy Reserve. I've done enough ironing, thank you very much. And I have to say that when I was doing my basic training, we had an inspection every evening to make sure that everything was up to scratch. And I would volunteer to clean people's shoes if they would do my ironing. I hated ironing that much. I really enjoy making shoes really shiny. But yeah, ironing, no, not doing it. Definitely not doing it. Let me think, where have I got that paper? Here it is. Here it is. So this is double-sided wax food saver paper. And it is exactly what it says. It's like baking paper, greaseproof paper, but it's waxed. And if you put that between the die and your card, that should help release it. It's very good for fine detail dies. And you don't need much, and often it will stay in the die long enough that you can use it again and again and again. Strictly necessary ironing only. That's all right then, Nora. Yeah, that's what I do. Strictly necessary only. I mean, very occasionally I will buy something that is lovely but will need ironing. And I'll take one for the team on those occasions. So there is a die there. So I'm assuming that you're doing that bit, Linda, to get your dies out, but they're still not coming. Try wax paper. I would imagine it's available globally. I don't know where you are. I can't remember where you're from. But I would imagine, as I say, I get it from Lakeland, but they're not global. Excellent, super. Glad it's helped. Well, fingers crossed it will help, Linda. Parchment paper versus waxed paper. Yeah, it's waxed paper. Parchment paper may work, but it's actually waxed paper. Right, so that's going to go up there. This is going to come down here, but I'm going to switch it with that one because then we've got mango and fresh freesia. Can't remember the name. Some of them are going to be down, some of them are going to be up. This one's going to be down. Where is my glue? Here. So yes, it's food saver. It's sold as double-sided wax paper, and I honestly cannot imagine that we would have it in the UK if it isn't available in other places. You've also tried dryer sheets, yeah? Dryer sheets, I would say use a used dryer sheet. Yeah, wax, not was. But was is fine. Was paper works for me. So this one's going flat. The ones with words are definitely going to be up. So that one goes there. That's going to be up. That can be up. and that can be up. And if I pull that one down there a bit, yep, that works. Okay, so hi, Calypso, Coastal Cabana, and thank you are going to be up. I have to say I haven't really looked at what the words are when I was choosing the stamp. Doesn't matter. Hi works as a word to go with thank you. Right, let's get my little pot of dimensionals out. Oh, it's quite nice there actually. Fits into the bottom of my tripod. Right, so couple of dimensionals there. In the US, it's cut right wax paper in the grocery store. Thank you, Barbara. I guessed there would be a US equivalent. Say, Lakeland tend to sell things that are very, very much what they say they are. You know, freezer bags are called freezer bags, for example. They don't go in for flowery names. Gosh, half an hour to make one card. Way! It's not quite going to be the 5 I made on Tuesday. So that's sort of down. Thank you. It's the difference between prepping and not prepping. Ah, it's not the same, Pam. Press and seal is something different. Press and seal is exactly what it says it is. So it's slightly tacky. So you would use that if you want to do a floating frame, something like that, and you want to keep all your die cuts in place. I want something here because it's too square. So let's see what I've got. Have I got a... Right, I need another colour. That's fine, I have other colours. And dare I say, my press and seal is under my desk. Yes, good for saving all the bits and pieces. Exactly, Rita. Dies. Would someone like to lend me their brain? Because I think mine's gone for a little walk. I don't think I've used that one. So let's use that one and it'll be a different shape. And I definitely haven't used that one. So let's get that. Oh, now. So again, those of you who were on my team meeting last night, this is boho blue. I was trying to describe, how do you describe what colour boho blue is, bearing in mind that colour on a screen is different from real life. Ooh, I've got a die still in there, or a die cut still in there. And I was trying to say it was balmy blue but with grey in it, and bearing in mind this is balmy blue, I think that was about right. You've excellent, Linda. So you already had the wax paper, you were keeping it in the kitchen. No. Kitchen paper is not for the kitchen. Wax paper is not for the kitchen. It may say it is, but it's not really. That'll be a die on the floor. There we are. Oh, somewhere I've lost the top of my, or the cover for this. I think it's in the bin, but I did go through the bin. I tipped my bin out on the floor to see if I could find it, and I couldn't find it anywhere, so I'm hoping it will turn up. Because I like to have it with I normally put it back on when I finish for a day, and I couldn't find it last night, which was slightly irritating, to say the least. So yes, how would you describe boho blue without being able to show the colour of boho blue? Discuss. For me it was balmy blue but with grey in it. Moving my wax paper to my craft room. Good. Boho blue is like the old ballet blue. Ooh, which I didn't have. Ballet blue was before my time. Right, so we don't have this shape. So I'm going to pop that under there, and that will help bring everything down a bit, because it's all a bit Yeah, I have cling film, press and seal, polythene bags and double-sided wax paper in here. Oh, and foil, because foil is very good for when you need to sharpen your punches. Country blue from years ago, again, before my time. There was... What was that blue we had quite recently? It wasn't sky blue, it was a sea. Sea foam... No, that's seaside... sea something. That was a grey blue. Anyway, one card, tick. Might stick some embellishments on. I'm thinking Milky Dots, Mango Melody, because that's meant to be Mango Melody. Seaside Spray, thank you. That was what I was thinking of, but a darker version of Seaside Spray. They're both that grey tinge, to my mind. Which, let's face it, my mind? Who knows what my mind is up to at any given moment. So this is a pack that's left over from product shares. So I've got this very odd cut for one of the shares, which was, yeah, it was fun trying to do shares of things that aren't necessarily an even number or divisible by 4. Which I think I'll there, and then I'll have another big one over there. So I've got 5, which makes me happy. Right, so that's that one. So now, having cut lots and lots of things in colour, I'm now going to cut lots and lots of things in white, because I want to do a background but then put colour on top of it. So let's get rid of, so I will be using those again, but let me clear the decks a wee bit, grab my big Bertha, because then I can do lots at once. And let's cut that off. I've been using these with sticky and I shouldn't, because they're sticky. I have a pair of scissors that are meant to be used for a sticky. Right, okay, so I'm going to throw all of these on here. Well, I say all, as many as I can fit without going totally mad. But yes, Seaside Spray is what I was thinking of, as opposed to Soft Seafoam, which is what we currently have and is green. But Seaside Spray, I'm fairly certain, was that kind of grey blue. It was a colour I loved, actually, so I'm hoping Boho Blue in ink will be very similar. So as you can see, I'm just piling these on. Leave a little bit of a gap between them, otherwise you are rather asking your die cutter to do more than it was really made for. And let's do a wow as well. Right, it's not all of the dies, but most of them. And of course I could have put some double-sided adhesive sheet on there and turned them into stickers, but that would have been too easy by half. And I've only just thought of it. Right. Oh, I was at the gym this morning. Boy, was it cold. It wasn't cold by the time we finished, but boy, was it cold. I cannot tell you how many layers of clothing I had on, and they were making us do all sorts of things. I hit a personal best on deadlift, so that was good. But yeah. It was a colour we didn't have, and a lot of them we have. And here's the thing, I love Coastal Cabana, but it's basically stamped off Bermuda Bay. Discuss. Because I know some people are going to go, no, it's a completely different colour, it's lovely. And I know that Dina Rico thinks it is the colour that lets us know that God loves us. But, yeah. It is basically Bermuda Bay stamped off. So, yeah. Right, okay, so that's all of the dies. I need some white card. So that's going to be roughly in half. Misty Moonlight, I loved Misty Moonlight, and it's only just gone, really. It was a really nice, again, it was a grey blue. You know, we've got Pacific Point, which is really brightened. Not my colour at all. But it's there. It's a, you know, mid-blue. But Misty Moonlight was lovely. I really enjoyed Misty Moonlight as a colour. I'm going to miss Flirty Flamingo. I'm really going to miss Evening Evergreen. Just saying. Not Flirty Flamingo. Fresh Freesia. Why do I keep saying... I know it's F, but... hey-ho. Right, I don't usually use glue for white, but I'm going to. Just saying. It's going to happen for this. And I normally don't use it because it goes, for me, it looks a bit bobbly. But, hey. So all I'm doing is whacking these down. Some of them I'm going to have hanging off the edge. So I can then add the other bit into another edge. Hello, Tracy. How are you? Tracy's one of my team. She doesn't join us that often on the live, but it's lovely to see her. Tracy has recruited 2 people already during Sale-a-bration. I know they are the people that you often recruit, but that's not the point. So yes, these are just kind of going down randomly. I do need to get some frames in, otherwise I'm going to end up with no solids and lots of frames, and that's going to look odd. I even remembered, it's not often, I'm a bit scatty sometimes, I even remembered to post the recording of our team meeting on our Facebook group. I know! It's just unbelievable. I've actually done something I said I would do. I haven't yet launched the date of our next team meeting, which I promised I would do this week, so that gives me the rest of today and tomorrow. And as I try not to work Friday afternoons, that will probably be tomorrow morning. Because after I've finished doing this, I will be going for a walk with my hubby. Because we're on our January Eat Less, Walk More. And I have to say it's working. My resting heart rate has plummeted. Oh, the baby's asleep. Yeah, while you've got 5 minutes, absolutely. So how many are you fostering at the moment? Because Tracy is one of those very good people who fosters. I don't know how anyone has the patience for children at all. I love a child, couldn't eat a whole one. Right, so I've taken that and put it there. I might... oh, that would fit quite nicely right up at the top, if maybe. I'll come back to that. So I'm going to completely cover the front of the card with bubbles, and then I'm going to come back with colour. As in paper. So it would appear that if you die cut all of the pieces, you should be able to cover the whole of the front of your card, just in case you wanted. 2, a 6-month and a 7-month. Wow. 2 wee ones. Wow. And I bet they sleep at different times. Because, you know, I didn't mean to put glue all over that because I want silicone mat. Where are you? Where are you when I need you? Silicone mat. Ooh. Just had a thought. So that can go there. We can make my scissors even stickier than they already are. Grab this piece. And stick it up there. I'll trim those bits off in a moment. So we just need something down here. So either that or that. I think I put that. So I think we're going to manage a massive 2 cards today. Hello, Ruth! Oh, it's my friend Ruth, the artful stamper. Artful stampin. Ruth is another UK demo, and we kind of got to know each other particularly. We'd met before, but we got to know each other particularly in New Orleans. I mean, you know, you have to go all the way to New Orleans to get to know someone who lives not that far from you. And then we were at an event on Friday for UK leaders, and so we caught up then, which was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. Right, so that won't. I think I'm going to leave it there, and now we're going to put some colour on. Oops, and throw things around. Why not? Okay, so what I'm thinking is we grab some of the more solid colour from the paper pack. And what's on the back of that? That. And stamp onto it. So I want to get these stars on if it kills me, and it probably will. Good place to make a friend. It does seem mad though to go all the way to America to get to know someone who is not that far away. Just saying. Okay, right, stamp cleaner. Stamp cleaner. I need to clean my stamp cleaner, particularly as I've been doing cherries, because cherries are very red. So I've got lots of red ink on my scrub, and I suddenly realised that stamps that I hadn't used red on were going red. Right, I'm going to go black because we've got a lot of colour here, and I will go thank you because it's here. And I think yay, probably. Yay! Yay! That's probably all I need, except I do like my 3s, so I'm going to have to find something else. And again, I'm going to stamp a bit away because these dies have a frame. I'm probably going to have to cut them into separate pieces as it is. And, ooh, let's go the 3 hearts. This isn't going to be black because Memento isn't, but I'm not getting out my stays on. But I I'm going to hold it there for a while. And it's not that black, but we could fix that if we wanted. You can get your black Stampin' Right marker and colour over it, or indeed edit any other black marker. If I was doing this in anger rather than quickly on a live, I would use the Stamp-a-ratus and probably stamp it 3 times. 3 is normally about the number you need. Right, mini cut and emboss in boho blue. And mini plates. Dies, pick a die, any die. It's going to be that one. And I will grab tape before I start. I like that the dies have frames as well, because you can use a different colour frame. Yay! Where's Yay gone? Is that Yay? I don't think that is Yay. No, that's not Yay. Is that? That's not Yay. Where's Yay gone? Probably dropped it somewhere. I'll come back to Yay. Let's do the triple things down here. Typical me to have lost a die already. Oh, it's that. That's why I can't see. It's because it's got a frame around it, so it's huge by comparison to what it looks like. If you see what I mean, because it's got a huge frame. Now you can use masking paper, which we sell for this. I find it a bit too tacky for this because you're putting a huge amount of pressure onto these dies and therefore onto the tape, which means you are pushing them well into the paper, and I find that sometimes it tears when it comes up. So if you want to use our tape, masking paper, please, please, please take some of the tack off it first. But this is basically post-it note tape that I'm using. It's just blue post-it note tape. And even this sometimes will rip paper. But I store all my little bits of paper on my ribbon dispenser because it's there. I must do a studio tour because everything's changed. Well, not everything, but a lot of things have changed, so I really must do my studio tour. Right. Okay, where's it gone? There it is. If you could see the mess. So we're going to have thank you. Yay! And hearts down there. As I say, that needs to be blacker, and I probably will make it blacker after the live. I'll redo it with lots of layers. Now this is only paper, so treat it with some respect, as in it will need a bit more support, so be more generous than you would normally be with your dimensionals. So if this was card, I would only use one dimensional on that one and that one. May need more on that one, but I'm only going to use 3 because that's what I put on. So, and again, I'm going to put on the Mango Melody Milky Dots. Milky Dots are what I am gifting to people who shop with me in January who use the host code. And place an order of at least £45 specifically so that they then get free stuff, because who doesn't like free stuff? Right, Milky Dots, because they're gorgeous. Shouldn't have put them away. Come on. And there was me saying that my left leg was going to get so hot that I was going to have to turn my fire down. It hasn't. Just saying. Still fine. No, I do want to go up the top somewhere. I am going to add more dots. And I'm tempted to use white, because then we've got the white on white mirrored in the white on white, if you see what I mean. Ooh, so we can go inside, and I know I've done 6, but I've done 2 3s. Does that make sense? I use Scotch tape blue to fix my dies. Yeah, you want a really low tack tape. So 2 whole cards we've managed. So one with lots of colour and one with a bit of colour. There are the frames that I can pop out of those as well. As I say, that I'm going to come back and I'm going to redo that and stick it over the top. That's really black before I photograph it. But just a few ideas. Now, obviously, you can use them with other stamp sets. So you could have stamp sets with maybe the owl saying thank you or hi or whatever. Or you could put one of the sentiments for the owl into one of these. So have a think about how you can use other stamp sets with the conversation dies. Obviously, the conversation dies come with sentiments, but you don't have to use the sentiments. And do remember that you also get dies for little stars and little hearts. And again, I will do a card probably with little hearts, because then I can tie it into a Valentine's card, but just using the little hearts and lots of colour, but on a white card, if that doesn't sound mad. Anyway, thank you very much for joining today. Happily, even though in the 2 hours prior to going live, I was wondering whether it was going to happen because my laptop was being so naughty. But happily, it's survived. It's worked. Sorry, Linda. Stamp set's on her list now. It's what I'm here to do, really. You know, I'm an enabler. So I'm glad it's on your list. Enjoy it. And, of course, make the most of a Sale-a-bration item with it, because I think it will qualify you for a Sale-a-bration item. Possibly not the paper, but let's have a look, because I can have a look at where the bundle is, because we now have them in alphabetical order. Hallelujah. It's £45. It's made for Sale-a-bration. No, not the new laptop, Ruth. No, the old clunky one. That's having a hissy fit because it's the old, I'm calling it the old clunky one. No, not my lovely new one. Thank you, Nora. Thank you, Mary. Yeah, I'm delighted it worked, Rita. Thank you, Joanna. So, yes, I will, as I say, I'll redo this. Then I'll take photos. If you've enjoyed it, a thumbs up, as I say, is always appreciated. If you don't already subscribe, bottom right-hand corner will do that for you. Oh, £45. Well, by all means, find something else to add to the order, but £45 will get you a level 1 Sale-a-bration item, certainly in the UK. It's exactly the right price. It's £45. Will it get you one in Europe? Because I know there's weird things with the conversion rate. No. If you're in Europe, you have to add something, a little something extra, possibly from the clearance rack. Anyway, lovely to see you as well, Ruth. Thank you for joining. Cute card, thank you. Thank you, Shaz. I have nothing planned. Actually, I have got something planned. I've got lots of crafting planned. So that'll be nice. Let me flip my camera up so I can say goodbye properly, because I do like to say goodbye properly. My mother did bring me up properly. So thank you very much indeed. If you're watching on the replay, any questions or comments below the description bar. As I say, a thumbs up is always appreciated. I know I'm behind with replying to comments. I will do that before the beginning of next week, but ideally before the end of this. Thank you, Joanna. We will have a lovely walk. Thank you, Rita. I love sharing. It's why I do this. It's not for any other reason. I like to share what I enjoy doing. So I'm glad you're enjoying my sharing. Anywho, I will say fare thee well. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. And I will be back on Saturday with a recorded and Tuesday live. I am hoping to get back to do Top Tip Tuesday, but I need someone to ask me some questions. I'm running out of ideas. I am actually going back to redo some. But if you've got any thoughts on what you would like me to give you information about, please drop a comment and say, could you do X for a Top Tip Tuesday? And I will be very happy to have a look at it. Assuming I know how to do X, of course. Anywho, thank you very much indeed, and I will see you again very soon. Bye for now.